The Burgundy Breakdown is back and live in full effect on this great Monday, Victory Monday, first of many for the Washington Commanders as we destroyed the New York Giants. The final score doesn't tell the full story, and that's why you're here watching the Burgundy Breakdown, because we're going to give you the real. Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Burgundy Breakdown. I am 1/4 of the crew, your man Juan Gotti, alongside Jon, Zee, and Reedie, here on this Victory Monday, fellas, the first of many we hope for the 2025 campaign. How we feeling?
Victory Monday, man. Excited. We gotta hurry up and turn around and get another game. So can't be excited for long, but 1-0.
1-0. Indeed. As Dan Quinn said, sleep fast because today was Wednesday. And can't really dwell on this game. I mean, honestly, me personally, I'm already past it. Last night was the day I was on it, and truth be told, I was excited for the win. But me being who I am and being just honest about it, we should have killed these Giants, man.
Yeah.
Like we left so many opportunities out. And of course, I'm gonna be easy and chalk it up to it just being week 1. But if we go to Green Bay playing like that, it's sayonara. They destroyed Detroit, both sides of the ball. And we cannot have 10 penalties in Lambeau. We cannot have missed overthrows from Jaden Daniels to Terry McLaurin. And we'll get into it, but we all love 5. But the difference between Jaden Daniels and the rest of the league is yesterday was a bad game for him, if we're being honest. Accuracy-wise. He was very inaccurate for a lot of the game yesterday. But even still, he's better than 75% of the league, as he was a big reason as to why we won that game. But Jon, just talk to me about your overall impressions of week 1.
I just did it real quick, and I kind of touched on it when I threw up the graphic for BIB. Offense looked rusty. Offense looked rusty. It wasn't smooth. It wasn't quick pace. It didn't start off hot. Like because I didn't watch the whole game, so I might be just talking out of turn. But like from what I saw, basically second half forward, finally picked up the pace. Bill, Deebo, Zach, but like just watching the first few notifications come through on Twitter of like, hey, the first 4 or 5 drives, not looking great, but then defense picked it right back up. I think the offense needed more preseason snaps, as dumb as that sounds. As dumb as it sounds, this is also the reason why you play some of your guys more than one drive in the preseason. You got to get chemistry. You've got to get timing. You got to get rhythm. You got to get communication. Yeah, cool. Connolly only gave up a sack, and Tunsil only gave up a sack. Cool. Two on the day against that D-line is great. But we left at a minimum 14 points on that field. At a minimum 4. This could have easily been a 35 to some. Even 35-15.
Hell no. 35-6. They ain't do shit.
Yeah.
They ain't do nothing. Don't give them 15 points. They ain't do shit. They had 2 opportunities in the red zone, and they ain't do nothing with them.
Squandered it.
No. 6 points, Jon.
35-6.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. That was for last night. 35-6. We would still have our critiques because it wasn't a smooth operation, but we left so many chances on that field between penalties, between drops, between miscommunications. Thursday is already less than 72 hours away from when we kick off Thursday Night Football in Lambeau Field. We'll touch on that on Wednesday. But offense looked rusty. I need to see more communication and more timing.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree with you. I think next year is maybe they'll reevaluate their preseason approach. Because you can have a lot of factors as to why they may have been off, right? Whether Terry's been holding out, whether it's Noah Brown been injured. Hey, Z, You know I'm gonna get on you, right? Noah Brown. Noah Brown. Hey, look, hey,
Did you accept the post?
Reedie, I'm disappointed in you, Reedie. Why you ain't letting them have it, man?
I already got him.
Okay,
Did you see the post?
Yeah, did you accept it?
And that was the light version when I was popping my shit in the stands. That was just the light version.
I just had to make sure, cause Noah Brown, he ain't even go crazy how he should have. That bogus ass offsides call they gave my man, bro. Like formidable number 3, but we'll get into it. We'll get into it. But yeah,
but I'm trying to figure out, was he in a slot on that play where they called him offsides, or was he the flanker?
I gotta look at the play again. My gut is telling me
because I didn't even peep this when I rewatched it to pay attention to it, but I knew they called it. But if he's the outside man, normally you check in with the ref to see if you're on, or if you're off, you wave back if you're off the line, and then the ref will normally tell you you're good, or if you're on the line, you give him a thumbs up. So I'm curious to see that. It's similar to the same thing. Remember last year, or was it the year before last with Terry, when the ref he nod like he was on, and then he said he wasn't. So yeah.
I was just about to bring that up. I'm like, look, hey, apparently it don't matter when you check with the refs or not when you play in New York, because they going
Terry knows.
Yeah, but it's crazy. Speaking of refs, I think they had a horrible day yesterday for both sides of the ball, for both teams, I should say. You can pick whatever penalty you want to go with. I went with the Noah Brown one. You can talk about the Terry challenge. My opinion, I feel like he caught it, but he didn't do himself a favor by wearing gloves that blends in with the ball. So I don't know if I want to be too harsh about them on that. But we talk about the penalty. The Marshawn Lattimore penalty, really, like, it's football, bro. Like, what are we doing?
The hands to the face.
Yeah, they called the hands to the face on Wise or
that was
Bowman, right?
It was dumb. I know that much.
And then a roughing the passer on Bobby Wagner, like you can see like he was trying to.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Hands from not even touching Russ, like he barely touched the side of his face. Like, come on, bro.
His hands were still going up. Like I don't even think it was. I think it was more like palm to forearm, just like slid this way. If it was this, there's no debate in this. His hands were up here.
Yeah, but did y'all see how Russ bitch ass like laid on the ground like he was like when they slowed it down? I'm like, Russ,
Sierra talking about to lay down.
Bro? Did you see that Z? The way he kind of like stretched out, I was like, like dog, what are you?
That's Sierra. Sierra talking about
LeBron.
Yeah.
Worse than that.
It was dumb.
It was a lot of questionable calls in that game.
Around. I ain't gonna hold you. I get it, I understand it, but it's a little ticky tacky. Like, what are we playing? What are we doing? Is this Batman?
That's
football.
That's one that I think New York should be able to reverse that one. Like hands to the face, that should be one that coaches can challenge right there on spot. New York going, where's the malice? Where's the vicious intent? Because if his hands are already up here by the time you get to the face mask, what was he gonna do? Play patty cake on Russ's head? Like, what are we doing here?
That is something that they can overturn. I seen a list of stuff. It's so much stuff that they can overturn now, like on replay system, all that. That's one of them. The roughing the passer call. So definitely it was because it was to the head and neck area. That's why it is what it is.
I mean, you can even talk about the Bobby Wagner fumble. I had Giants fans in my section that I was, for whatever reason, surrounded by Giants fans. I don't know why and what the hell where we were, Burgundy and Gold fans, but like, I mean, granted, I was. My seat was ass. I ain't gonna hold you. I would never get that seat again, but like it was all Giants Nation over there, and even they was talking about how that Bobby Wagner fumble, that Bobby Wagner play should have been a fumble. But again, we'll chalk it up to week 1. We'll give the refs the benefit of the doubt, and the Giants they needed all that ticky tacky call or whatever. The Russell Wilson land, they needed whatever they can do because
the interception called back.
They needed all of that, and they still couldn't get in the end zone. Like let's just talk about this defense, man. What a debut by Javon Kinlaw. A lot of people were questioning that signing. You know what I mean? Overpaid this, overpaid that, and he went out there and destroyed. Deron Payne. Apparently, we need to sign him to 1-year deals every season because he seems to be back to his old self. Dietrich
He had like
Wise,
3
it's a contract
Yeah.
year.
He had like 3 bases batted.
Payne's MO is the contract year, so he started off
Yeah.
well. But we can't sit here and say a lot of people because it was us on this show that were saying that. So like, let's just keep it a buck and say that we were one of the ones like Kinlaw. What? Like,
Yeah, the first signing of this new year, Kinlaw.
What I will say is, I think because I honestly forgot how I reacted. I always felt like I reacted. I don't know if I was like he was. I don't remember. So
I don't think we were like negative, but we were like kind of like what? Like
I know when they did make the sign, and me and Reedie was on the phone, and I called him like, "Who the fuck is Kinlaw? Like, who the fuck is Javon Kinlaw? Never heard of him in my life." So it definitely was that immediate reaction from this.
I think for me, if I could just know how I am, I feel like I was always trying to find that middle ground. I knew who Javon Kinlaw was, but I knew him more for his off the field antics, being hurt, not really doing much in San Francisco. And then the more I dove into what he did last year with New York, they said he was ascending. So him coming back to where he's from, I guess, right? Playing for the hometown team, he seemed to be worth the money off after week 1.
Yeah.
That whole D-line just revamped. Dietrich Wise. I mean, why is a man pause that big and can move that fast? Like Malik Neighbors, bro. Go ahead. What you about to say?
No, I was gonna say when I rewatched today, like live is one thing. Like that's why sometimes I hate being at the game. It's fun and all of that, but you miss a lot of stuff not watching the TV.
No, for real. I agree.
And when I rewatched it back this morning, I said, "Oh my God, Kinlaw, dog."
Yeah.
He was taking on 2 and 3 people and still getting pushed, still back there in the backfield, affecting plays and stuff like that. It was crazy. Like I text Z, I'm like, bro, Kinlaw is an animal. But that's what I was just gonna say.
I agree with you. I like being at the games too, but I think I'm more of a TV watcher, bro. I think I like if I could somehow mingle the atmosphere, like soundproof it into my room and just have the TV copy, it'd be great. Because you're right, you miss a lot. Like on TV, you can see everything. Like they slow it down, and I'm like, dang, because I rewatched a little bit of it too as well. But Dietrich Wise, man, like that play that he made on Malik Neighbors. Just to have that awareness and that quickness to get out there on the screen, this D-line impressed me as a whole, and it's really long overdue, right? And I even went out on a limb. It might be too early to say this, but I said maybe Deron Payne and Javon Kinlaw is everything we wanted Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne to be. You know what I mean? Because I mean, like for years now, people has always said Deron Payne is being held back by Jonathan Allen, and I've always been like, how can you say that? Really, you know what I'm saying? Because he still got to go out there and make plays. But it's like if my guy ain't making no plays, and they doubling me or they putting all the attention on me, then what is it? Because we always said that Deron Payne was the more talented one out of the duo. Now it seems like you got somebody that's on this level, and it's opening up everything.
Yeah, and when you say we, it definitely was more so us. I think the national medias and the local medias and everybody kind of, favored John Allen more than Payne in a sense. Even after Payne had the career year he had, that contract year. I don't know, for some reason, it's like Payne has always kind of like been in his shadow. So, when they had that whole little falling out and whatnot, and then even it makes me think, even when Payne, I was thinking about it the other day, actually, when Payne was asked about, not having his guy around, is it less motivating and all this and that, and how Payne reacted. I think it revealed like they didn't really fuck with each other. You know what I mean? He just was like, I don't need another guy. I don't need another man to motivate me. It was something along that manner that he said. And you know what I mean? It's just like, and I get it in a sense, but I just feel like he didn't, for them to be Bama boys, they, college guys and all that. I don't think they fucked with each other.
I mean, it happens though. I mean, teammates were 8 years before Allen left this year, 6, 7, 8 years. Like, if it's not, it gets tiring after a while.
Yeah, maybe he was just like, bro, I'm tired of playing with you, bro. Watch out.
I always felt like John Allen was a crybaby. did a lot of talk, and they gave him this leader role and the cat, all this shit. Like it was all a bluff.
Not to go out on a tangent, but I'm right there with you. I still am pissed off at Jonathan Allen for that speech that he did in Dallas, talking about so we can embarrass these boys. We lost 45-10.
We got embarrassed.
Allen, like he always talked a good game, bro, but it never translated to nothing.
Yeah. When we had Lake Lewis on first game of the season I think it was last season after the Tampa Bay game, it was like, yeah, Jon Allen will give a nice pregame speech, first one on the bus. He'll talk. He'll give the boys a good pep talk, first one on the bus. Don't talk to the media. Tells you a few things already right there.
But yeah, let's get into it though. As we don't plan to make this a long episode. Just Jon, if you give me some of your takeaways from week one's matchup, whether it's offensively, defensively, positive, negative. Where'd you take away?
Yeah. Dranby kind of beat me to it earlier. John Bates might be co-MVP from yesterday. That man was blocking. That man played like a $21 million blocking tight end. He set up screens. He was 6-man on one side. I think he helped set up the Deebo screen or the Bill touchdown, one of the two. And it's like, oh yeah, we might not need him in the pass game because he's the pass protection that you want from a running back, and he just does it better as a tight end, and it works even better. I think Connerly Jr. only giving up 1 sack and 2 pressures, no QB hits, no QB hurries. For what it's worth, had a good day. It's like on paper and even in person, it's one of the best defensive lines in the league. Carter, Burns, Thibodeau, Dexter, even some of the unknown, like the 2s and 3s that he tackled, they'll get in on the action. And Connerly was like, when y'all can come through, and that's it. That's all I can do. So I thought Connerly Jr. overall had a good day. Like, and this is what we want. Like, every tackle for the most part will give up a sack or 2. And week 1, rookie season, did as well as I thought he was going to do. I thought Bill had a great day. Averaged like 8.2 yards a carry, a touchdown, broke that 40-yarder towards the end of the game. And I'll finish it up with, this isn't a game to evaluate the team. Thursday will be the team to evaluate the game. You get a much better team on your level. You get a much better quarterback on your level. Because I think just based on youth-wise, they're closer than Russ being. I don't care.
I ain't buying the Jordan Love hype. He gotta show me Thursday.
You ain't never had love for Jordans. We all know it.
Never.
But
he gotta show me Thursday. I will offer up a apology if he showed me on Thursday. I don't think he's trash.
I'm out the thumbnail ready.
I just think he's a quality starting quarterback in this league. He's a good start. He just hasn't had that game for me. Yeah, you can go back to that Dallas playoff game, but like, he got to show me on Thursday. And on the flip side,
all right,
you want to know what I'm about to say? Not to cut you off and make it about
no. Let's get into it.
Thursday night will be Jaden Daniels' Cincinnati Bengals game from last year. Think about it. Okay. They were all pissed off because they played sloppy. They don't gotta sleep on it for a whole week. They right back to it 3 days later. The Bengals, I mean not the Bengals, the I forget who it was, but I was watching the Lions in the Packers game. They had 3 key injuries. And had this been a full week, maybe they go. They could be down 3 quality starters.
Yeah, read it. Jaden Reed, receiver 1, Matthew Golden, receiver 2. They're both questionable. Micah's questionable, but he played. Nate Haas is out, one of their starting corners. Bo Melton, another starting corner, is questionable. This could be fun for our secondary. We'll definitely discuss this more on Wednesday, but like if I'm gonna divulge, this could be a better passing game than I'm anticipating.
And what's the injury on Golden?
Let me take a quick look. It sucks because I have him on fantasy, but
yeah, that's why I asked.
Ankle.
Well, we know you're bad at drafting fantasies, obviously. You take Justin Jefferson and Matthew Golden, and you don't know.
Hey, you told me about it fantasy, but I've got a nice fantasy winning trophy right here, so I know what you're talking about.
That from 2015?
That says 2024, 2025, my G.
The reigning champ,
reigning and defending, undisputed.
Stop playing with my man Juan.
Stop stealing Chat GPT draft picks.
Go ahead.
Hey, but I'm just gonna give my take. Some of the things that I enjoyed this week. My player of the game for this past week, Will Harris. Will Harris is all over the place. We were not knowing what he was going to be coming in here. After he took Jeremy Chin's spot, it was a little questionable all offseason. I'm a guy I'm like, I don't know about him. Like, I hear that he could tackle. He's a hitter all over the place. Land of wood. Pause. That hit he put on Russ, I think he knocked himself out too when he hit him. Let the football go, and he was a little woozy getting up trying to figure out what was going on. All over the field. Came out for a little bit with a little injury, came back in and was still striking. Will Harris and this secondary as a whole, Trey was locking shit. Then you had Latimer over there locking shit. Then you had Jeremy Reeves even coming in striking. So this whole back end, like this whole back end, Quan was back there holding his own.
Yeah,
the whole back end as a whole was hooping.
They had Owen split a few times.
Yeah, between the secondary and the defensive line, hooping. Like Malik Neighbors is like one of them ones, and to kind of strap him up the way they did, I mean, don't get it. Russ was trying to get him the ball. We saw that he was mad with the coach, cussing the coach out on the sideline. Deebo is kind of one of them guys. He's easy to get, go back and forth with. But yeah, man, like Will Harris really stood out to me on that back end.
I love to hear that because I remember when we first got him, you was like, I'm not impressed with the tape. He can't cover, you know what I mean? But Will Harris has always been a guy that I rocked with only because I'm not gonna say I seen the tape, but I seen great plays, especially in New Orleans, and New Orleans fans were upset that they let him go last year. They was like, this is a guy that we can ill afford to lose. He's a big reason why our defense got off to that fast start last year. And just not even talking about what you brought up in terms of his on-field play. The energy itself sold me. Like, I was solely watching him early on, and the energy he rocks with, you know what I'm saying, is just like outstanding, and it matches this secondary's tone. And Joe Witt Jr., like, I know a lot of people tend to forget to give coaches credit, but Joe Witt tried to tell us last year, he like, bro, it ain't my play calling. Like, without saying it, he always said, like, it ain't me. Like, it's my personnel. I don't have the guys. He said, what did he say, a few weeks ago about the Benjamin St. Juste, the Russell Wilson, Michael Williams, Benjamin St. Juste coverage? He said, hey, look, that's on me because I put him in that predicament, not having the right guy out there. He had never said it about what he got now because he feels comfortable to put anybody and that's to Zee. I mean, Reedie alluded to. Malik Neighbors is a damn good receiver. I mean, that one play I watched him motion. I watched him the whole play, like in live time. He killed Quan at the top of that route, man. Like he but it's Malik Neighbors. And Trey Amos battled with him, right? Marshawn
kept up with him too.
Yeah.
But did you see, not to cut you off, but did you see what they were doing? Like, they was on some high level coverage shit.
Yeah.
Like, there was one time that Marshawn rotated to the middle of the field, and he was the middle of the field safety. When they went in motion, everything shifted over. I'm like, damn, you never see that. Rarely, like, the corner's really going to stay down. For them to rotate him up high, the safety come down, they're confident with anybody covering. Just to your point. I think today or yesterday's game was the most creative defense I've seen in Washington in 6-7 years? Like, the amount of stunts they pulled, the amount of different zone and man coverages they were pulling. I hate you already. I hate you. But no, like Joe Witt Jr. was dialing it up. There's an argument he might get, if this the way this keeps going, he might get some looks next year for head coaching opportunities.
To your point, John, because I know I've talked about Jordan Love, blah blah blah, but they're a damn good team. Like without a doubt, he's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
They better shred us on Thursday night. Because if my defense goes out there, because you can limit the hype because it is Russell Wilson and the Giants offense, and they are talent wise. And don't let my defense go out there and do the same thing to the Packers. Jordan Love.
Let's stop that on this Russ train. Let's stop that because Russ can cook your ass. Russ is a deep ball thrower, and they have receivers that have speed that could go past your ass. So let's stop that. Like Russ can operate. He ain't the worst of the worst.
No, we're not saying that. No, we're not.
He's not what he was at one point. But on any given Sunday, Russ could cook your ass.
Yeah,
he's able to do when he gets out of there and run. Now I thought it was a few times, especially in the red zone, on when he tried to hit that lineman, he should have took off. He would have scored.
Mm-hmm.
So some of that comes back on Russ. But as far as throwing the football, trying to hit the open man, he was doing that. He was under fucking siege, though.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing about that is, one, that we didn't mention, your guy, Frankie Louisville and Von Miller wasn't really in the picture this week. That's
nowhere to be seen.
That's scary to me. If the defensive line did that without them two really affecting the pass rush, that is very scary.
I'm gonna. But before I let you go, I finally got the stat from Ron Fowler. We generated 22 pressures on their 45 dropbacks, 5 more than any game last year, and Armstrong had 9 of those things, tying his career high just on week 1.
No,
I knew Von Miller ain't do nothing because if Von Miller did something, Zee would be letting us have it right now.
He would.
I knew he ain't do nothing. And
I know who did. I know who did do something.
Talk about it.
Bill. You want to know what my observations from the game? I'll give Eckler his props. He came in 3 series.
No, don't open it up.
Before he go,
let me tell my story.
Before he go, let me set it up for him. It's like the first quarter. We said that.
Yeah, I was about to tell all this story.
Was doing this thing. It's like, really, where the fuck is Bill at? I'm like, where's Bill? And I was like, shit, I don't know. Eckler doing all right. Next thing you know, Bill comes in, just starts turning up. I said, shit.
Man.
Nah, for real though. Nah, the game started out, like, okay, Eckler's out there first. All right, you get 1 series, go past Eckler, running the ball and catching the ball, and he's the only back in the backfield. I'm like, oh, they're not gonna sub him out. They're not gonna, rotate the guys. Second series, same thing. And now, I'm looking like, okay, Eckler kind of hooping. Okay, cool. Bill standing there just waiting his turn, like a little league waiting on his 8 plays. He's just standing there, just waiting. And then, like you said, like after the 3rd to around the 4th series, Bill comes out there. It just was turned up from there. Like we mentioned earlier, on the show we had earlier, like he, even on the plays that he weren't flashy, he kind of showed you his ability that, like, he still was able to make people miss. It was still some promises. He just kind of gives you that that excitement, like that he could possibly break any run in a sense. He's a true weapon in the backfield. And for the plays where he had the larger gains, it just shows you that, this is the running back that we've needed, that we've been wanting. He is what Brian Robinson wasn't. And we're not gonna bash B-Rob, but he just has that different element that we've talked about all season, all last year, about what we lack. So, kudos to AP and the guys for finding this guy in the 7th round. But to come out and that run with the touchdown run in a sense, like the hop step, to be able to the patience and to be able to shift and then create a running lane, it allows blocks to do it, and then he get in the end zone. Shout out to Terry for going over there and getting that football. Like the same props we gave Jaden in the preseason. Terry was a real one for doing that for him. This game. And then, you know, I mean, they pretty much kept him, you know, in the game. Now they still rotated the backfield in a sense, but you know what I mean, to allow him to keep his momentum as the game went along, it shows that he, you know, like I said, I predicted week 4, week 6 RB1. It's looking like week 2. You know what I mean? Like Bill is the guy, and we got Reedie after the game he's trying to go ahead and get his words out the way right after the game. Bill is the guy. Bill is that dude, man. You see Bill, and I'm like, oh yeah.
Oh, now it's like that.
He's trying to play Mr. Switch up all quick.
Hey, man. when he took that run from the goal line, I said, "Oh, I
40.
need to see." When he took that run, I said, "Oh yeah, okay."
Oh, could you imagine that run was from the goal line, but he broke into the middle of the field instead of just down the sidelines?
Yeah, and even down the sideline, he got those extra yards. Like just the work was just crazy on that play. And you know, what I mean, outside of Bill, just the O-line and in general. I mean, I feel like, you know, early on, Jaden kind of took some sacks, you know, and a lot of that was on him. Got to get rid of the ball. But you know, as a whole, I feel like the O-line definitely held their own. You know, Juan, your guy, Allegretti, you know, end up getting a start, and Wally's just standing over there waiting and patient. And I'm looking like, okay, Allegretti holding his own. But you know, it's a testament. And I saw something earlier, like Coleman had 0 sacks, 0 pressures. You know what I mean?
The whole interior.
Yeah, so Coleman did his thing. So just imagine what this offensive line is going to be like when Cosme is back. So it's shout out to the O-line for that. And yeah, I mean, my one thing though, there was this guy in the stands getting on Terry, calling Terry out of shape. You know, he should have been at camp and all this and all that. But yeah, I feel like Terry's going to come around. That play where Jaden threw the bomb and everybody's saying it's an overthrow. Man, Terry came out jogging on that route, and I watched Terry every play before that, where, you know what I mean, he was kind of energized and running. Maybe he was, you know, not in game shape. Like he was running his routes hard. They were subbing in him out. He couldn't really get his momentum finally going. And then on that particular play, like the play before that, he wasn't really getting any looks. Like Jaden was going to Deebo, going to Chris Moore, you know, going to Noah a few times. So he probably felt like he wasn't going to get the ball. And he came out jogging, then he looked up and seen it. He tried to speed up. So if Terry just get that mental aspect of it back too, we'll be fine. And I think that's going to change quick.
And that would have been if he would have caught that one.
Yeah, that was a house call.
The fact that the first big play I see come across Twitter was, what was it, a 40 or 50 yarder to Chris Moore? I go, what are we doing? Yeah. Chris Moore elevated and does this. What are we doing here?
Kendrick Bourne could take his ass to San Francisco. If that's the Chris Moore I'm gonna get, that's my 6th receiver right there. Hey, I ain't even just talking about the catch. I'm talking about the way he caught it. The way
it was
straight hands and got the feet in. Hey.
Yeah.
I mean, Bourne got Bourne. No good.
No, that's what I've been saying. Like, we don't need guys to come in here and like just get us 2-3 catches in pivotal times of the game. Like, that's all we need. We don't need you with Deebo, Terry, Noah Brown, and Jalen Lane. They'll take the bulk of it. But we just need a guy to come in to give us 2 to 3 catches. That's it. That's all we need. Something else.
I think the benefit of having Chris Moore is they'd build that chemistry through camp and like here and there in the preseason. Like that, even that first drive, we ran ran the whole time. Moore was still in the field here and there, and Jaden was going to Chris Moore a few times in camp consistently. So I think having that versus having to build more chemistry with another receiver coming in, it's good for both parties. I think you don't got to worry about it on our end. Kendrick Bourne got a cool $5 million, becomes wide receiver 2 in San Fran with now Juwan Jennings getting injured. Like, I think that situation worked for both parties, actually.
Yeah. Oh, Jennings got hurt yesterday?
Jennings, Kittle, and Purdy all got hurt yesterday.
Golly, that's
so
cursed.
Yeah.
They were just in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Yeah.
But Shit, I don't know. I'm watching this game. Caleb Williams check down Shorty, man. He making all the he making all the. I ain't trying to hate. He making all the right decisions.
I
but
should have drafted Swift.
he doing everything right, but he's definitely checked down Shorty.
I think one thing that was underrated in terms of like the game overall, the edge rushers themselves, like they didn't like on paper they didn't flash out, but we mentioned Wise getting onto Neighbors. You were seeing the whole D-line eat, whether it was interior or exterior. Like I said, that 20 something pressures more than last year. I think that it shows pieces that they got worked, especially on the edge, because that made sure that the running backs had to go to the inside. Well, they went inside and got destroyed. Like most of the rushing, I think what was it, 30 of the 60 or 70 rushing yards from New York was just Russell Wilson scrambling. Like nothing designed, nothing choreographed, nothing scripted, no play calling. It was him going, damn, I can't go here or here. And they strapping up, your boy got to run.
Yeah, I think the exterior pass rush, it was cool. I have to watch it over again to see what exactly happened. But I think our pass rush is going to come from the most important part. Like interiorly, quarterbacks hate that. So whether it's Jacob Martin, whether it's an older Von Miller, we may not have the best exterior pass rush throughout the year, but we're still going to be effective, as you alluded to, because of who we have inside. Frankie Louisville, like Reedie said, didn't have his name called at all yesterday. And the one time I called his name is when he missed the wide open tackle. Like that's the one play that I had for Frankie Louisville that I was like, that ain't Oos. I ain't gonna say he was off yesterday, but he that's just not the Oos I know. Like he wasn't really violent. He wasn't really like flying around, being Frankie from last year, right? Like Frankie Louisville doesn't miss that open field tackle like he did yesterday, right? But all in all, great performance for week one, offensively and defensively. And we can nitpick, we can be upset with having missed opportunities, but at the end of the day, we got the win. And the biggest thing that I take away from this game is just knowing our team itself isn't satisfied. Like everyone from the players to the coaches to the fans, we're all singing the same tune, right? Like we played a sloppy game, but we still found a way to get the victory.
Penalty 12 penalties aside, we won this game.
Yep.
I think they fixed this quick, especially with these next few days being kind of like walkthroughs, so DQ can kind of be more. I mean, it's like in walkthroughs, you kind of the atmosphere is calmer. You can kind of catch the details a little bit better. You can get more intense up close and show guys your hand placements when you're blocking. Just you can really teach better in those moments. So I think these things will be corrected pretty quickly. And hopefully on Dan Quinn's side, the time management, the timeouts, all those things kind of get smoothed up and cleaned up as well, because I blinked and we didn't have no timeouts in the third, and I don't remember when the hell he used them. You know what I mean? Right before the halftime, after Jaden had that run, in my mind, I'm like, get up and spike the ball. He's signaling, throwing the belt, trying to signal. We had no time. I think we had one timeout at the time, either one or none. Maybe. But he should have spiked the ball. And then next thing we had the grounding call. So, what I mean? Just those situational things, just kind of clean that up, and I think we'll be all right.
We had no timeouts at that point in time in the game. Brady was saying on a broadcast, that's why he likes to keep a timeout, because of stuff like that. It's too many things that happen at the end halves, at the end of games, where you need those timeouts. Because in the sense of even if everything goes the same way and you get that grounding call, you have the timeout to stop the clock by being a 10-second runoff to get out of the half, because we at least got the field goal. So that could have came back to bite us. Not in those points at the end of the half as well.
I also didn't like the play call. I love everything Cliff did yesterday. I even sat there yesterday upset, sad because we're going to lose Cliff at the end of this season. He was in his bag. Like he was cooking. But I did not agree with that play call, that QB draw. Not that it was a bad play, but just that time. Had you had a timeout in your back pocket, had you had something to call a timeout or enough awareness to your team to be like, hey, get up and spike it and know we were going to be comfortably able to do it, cool. Right? You're trying to catch them off guard with not to have JD5 go up the middle. But that's the risk that you take, that it doesn't work out. And I didn't necessarily like that play call. I think it was a 3rd and 2. Also, it was like 2 plays that I just didn't like. But other than that, Cliff was really stellar as well. But yeah,
that was a PI on Noah in the end zone too.
Yeah.
And y'all will be, slightly surprised as he was like, not gonna call the PI. I'm like, that's Noah Brown. It's a PI. It's a PI.
That's what I keep trying to tell y'all. Like, I'm not against them. All I was just against is y'all glaze. That's it.
It wasn't no glaze.
I guess I'm glazing it because that is
hold on. Sidebar. Did anybody catch on the broadcast what your man Brady said?
Nah.
I think it was. I said Zeta. I can't remember when it was, but it was like it was some point in the game. He was they were saying something about Dean Blandino being a rules expert, and then Brady was like, "Well, you ain't told Burkhardt, you ain't never been an expert in nothing." And then he said something back, and then Brady was like, "What the young kids are saying is that's glazing," and I was like, I laughed. I said, "Brady the GOAT for that." So that man,
he been around his kids too much.
He told that man it was glazing on the national broadcast. I was dying laughing. When I heard
that's insane.
But
yikes. Yeah.
So what are our early takeaways and things we must do in order to come out of this Thursday with a victory? I mean, or we want to save that until Wednesday?
I say save it to Wednesday.
So let's save it.
Bask one more day of this victory.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Well, people, if you haven't already done so, please like, share, subscribe at the Burgundy Breakdown Wash. Also, subscribe to Juan Gotti Talking Sports. He's on the road to what now?
11,000.
11,000. Also, subscribe to Jon at Ballin In Burgundy Podcast. He is on the road to 1,000.
Yep.
And also, Reedie and Zee, we are on the road to 2,000 subscribers. And also, make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and send this to a friend. The Burgundy Breakdown. We're on our road to 500 subscribers. We're trying to get there as soon as possible. We'll see y'all this coming Wednesday around the same time, 9:45, as we'll give our pregame analysis at the game going against the Green Bay Packers this coming Thursday. And if don't nobody have anything else, I'm Reedie.
I'm Zee.
I'm Jon.
And I'm Juan.
And we out of here.